Alrighty, y'all. In this video, we're going to be discussing Georgia football. The Georgia Bulldogs are 2-0 in the 2023 season. They have wins over UT Martin and Ball State. Yes, I know it's UT Martin and Ball State. But listen, Georgia's got some problems, and I'm here to talk about them. First problem, Georgia's rushing attack is absolutely piss poor, and Georgia's run blocking is horrendous. Now, those two tie in together. Obviously, I'm here to talk to you about it because I'm a Georgia fan. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Look, I'm a fan. I'm just going to keep it real. You know, Georgia's got some rushing problems. The running backs, we don't have Branson Robinson. He's out for the year. Kendall Milton's still battling injury. And Kendall Milton has done absolutely nothing but rush but 2 yards a carry this year. The true freshman, Broderick Robinson, has been kind of the peak of the rushing attack as a true freshman. We let Andrew Paul get a few carries. He's a sophomore or a redshirt freshman. He might be a redshirt freshman, but we let him get some carries. I think Cash Jones has some carries, but like I said, Dylan Bell came in, one of our wide receivers. He come in and lined up at running back, and he had like a 20-yard rushing touchdown. And honestly, his run that he had has probably been the best run we've had in a while. He's got the ability to make plays in the open field. And honestly, I know he's a wide receiver and all, but if he's the best fit for running back, let him play running back, Let Dylan Bell play running back. I know it might piss off some of the running backs on the team, but that should light a fire under them to go, okay, we got to get better. I got to do better, and that's what it should do. Noshawn Marino did an interview talking about it, and Noshawn Marino said that if you were a running back at Georgia and you see Dylan Bell line up in the backfield, that should piss you off, and generally it should. Dylan Bell has no business being in the backfield playing running back when, yeah, he can do it, but he has no business doing that. We have recruited 4-star running backs, 5-star running backs, and these guys should be able to run more than 3 yards a carry, and that is a major problem. And also the offensive line. I don't understand what the offensive line's problem is when it comes to the rushing blocking, when they kind of block for the run. We cannot get separation, especially on the interior tackles. I don't know what the deal is now. Our outside running has always been good. I don't understand why we don't run more outside sweeps, tosses. I don't understand it. Mike Bobo ran a lot of that when he was the coordinator back in the day. He would do a lot of tosses and stuff and sweeps. I don't understand why we're trying to run straight up the gut. I don't understand that. That does not work ever. I don't know. That's a straight up the middle run is something you do on a goal line when it's like second and goal, first and goal. That's something you do there. You're up the middle. You put your true power back. You do not run a power back on 2nd and 10 straight up the middle when you're on the 50-yard line. It's stupid. And some of his play calling has been questionable so far. Now he's done a lot of good stuff, but he's also had some questionable plays. And really, that's the only concern I have with Georgia is the running attack and the run blocking. That is my only concern I have for this team. I am not concerned with nothing else. I'm not concerned with quarterback play. We have Carson Beck. He's great. The backups, I think, are phenomenal. They're just as good as Carson Beck. All of our wide receivers are starting, our 2 wide receivers. Ladd McConkey hasn't even played yet, and Marcus Rosemary-Jackson finally come back last week. We have tons of wide receivers. We have a bunch of new guys who've been getting in and playing, and we've been playing a bunch of tight ends. I mean, the defense is lights out. We've only given up 10 points so far this season. I know it's UT Martin and Ball State, but Ball State scored 14 on Kentucky, so just kind of a reference. We only scored 3 on us, so just kind of a reference of like, hey, 2 SEC teams that played them. I mean, it's just one of them things. With Georgia this year, we got South Carolina coming up. South Carolina, obviously a much better opponent, much more predominant opponent, and we're going to be playing a much more, physical team. South Carolina has their own problems. Their offensive line is pretty bad, but Georgia should beat South Carolina just like they have the last 3 years. I'm expecting a 45-10, 45-17, 45-13 type game. A lot of people think South Carolina will hang around and keep it close. I don't know if that's for sure. I don't know for sure if that's something that could happen. Me personally, I look at it this way: if Georgia struggles with South Carolina, and let's say we win the game 34 to 27 or something like that. Let's say we win the game 34 to 27. We average 3.4 yards a carry. We have 100 yards, but we average 3.4 yards a carry. Carson Beck has his normal 300 yards or whatever and 2 touchdowns or something. Then I would worry. I would worry a little bit at that point, because if we can't get over rushing 3 yards a carry, and if that continues into the Power 5 conference play in the SEC with South Carolina, then I think that's a problem. I think that's a problem. So, because we're going to play, we got Auburn coming up at Auburn. We got Kentucky, all the usuals, Tennessee. We got Ole Miss this year. So, it's just a lot of stuff that could go wrong for Georgia in this game if we can't run the ball. I'm not particularly worried about Georgia in the passing attack. Like I said, I'm not worried about. I think this is our best wide receiver group. I think this is the most talented wide receiver and tight end group we've ever had at Georgia. Lamb McConkey, Marcus Roseman-Jackson, Arian Smith, Dylan Bell, C.J. Allen, the freshman, he's balled out. C.J. Smith, the freshman receiver, he's balled out. Micah Muse has balled out. Got Brock Bowers. You got Oscar Delp. I mean, it's just, and all the backups that were 4 and 5 stars, and they're coming in. So, and a lot of wide receivers have had catches. I'm ready to see. I just want to see everything blend together. And one of the problems that people have stated about Georgia is such the slow starts. Georgia didn't score any points against Ball State in the first quarter. Well, Georgia was driving straight down the field, and Carson Beck fumbled the football at like the 15-yard line. We were getting ready to score, We were getting ready. And, that would have been a score right there. But then we turned around and scored 31 in the second quarter. So it's just one of them things of, okay, we had a terrible first quarter, but we fixed it in the second. But these slow starts are something you got to think about. Because let's say we're playing Ole Miss and we got off to a slow start and we get down 14-0 or 10-0. And, now listen, Georgia has proven they can handle getting behind here recently. But that was with Stetson Bennett and company. That was with Stetson Bennett and A.D. Mitchell and all the other, and most of the other people that are still there. But we also had Kenny McIntosh. We had, Kyrus Jackson. So we just as a team, we just every week the team just has to get better. And I think it is, because from week 1 to week 2, Carson looked like he got better and more comfortable in the pocket. So he's making good reads. He has thrown a few bad balls in the last 2 games. But I think Georgia's going to win the game. I know Spencer Rattler is pretty hot right now. I know he's looking pretty good, Spencer has. But I just think Georgia's going to come out and win the game. I think Georgia is going to make a statement in this game. I think we're going to see hopefully we open the playbook up on this game. Hopefully we sling this thing, let Carson just drop back and do what he's supposed to do. Carson Beck is a true pocket passer quarterback. That is what he's built to do. The dude's 6'5". He's lanky. He's tall. He's got a heck of an arm on him, and that is what we need Carson Beck to do, is drop back and just throw the football. So hopefully we can do that. Hopefully we come out and make a big statement against Carolina. A lot of people are calling this upset week. A lot of people think LSU is going to drop Mississippi State. A lot of people think Georgia Tech might beat Ole Miss. A lot of upsets are being called this weekend, so hopefully nothing crazy happens to the dogs. Because I don't want them dogs to lose, man. Woo! We got the longest home win streak, and we got the longest winning streak right now. So we'll see what happens there, and go dogs. We'll beat South Carolina 45-13. Peace.